यो 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 बजाई मेरी। हेलो हेलो डोकला भाई, डोकला भाई। बहुत जल्दी आ गए भाई। हम्म, भाई कहाँ है वर्ल्ड वॉर जी स्ट्रीम? वर्ल्ड वॉर जी स्ट्रीम? अरे मैं भेजा था ना, देखो ना स्ट्रीम क्या बोलते हैं उसमें, देखा क्या बोलते हैं डिस्कॉर्ड पे मैंने टैग किया है कंटेंट में। वो मैंने पहले खेला था लेकिन फिर पता नहीं मैंने अनइंस्टॉल किया, फिर वो पूरा ही चला गया। मतलब मैं लाइब्रेरी से भी हटा दिया, मेरे को आइडिया नहीं था उस टाइम में कि भाई वो लाइब्रेरी में सेव रहता है तो हमेशा रहता है। उस टाइम में मेरे को कुछ आइडिया नहीं था तो हटा दिया। फिर मेरे को वापस मन कर रहा है लेने का तो मैं ले लिया। अब देख रहा हूँ भाई 300 400 500 इतने में हो जाएगा। वाह यार, अलग ही लेवल के नशे हो गए भाई अभी भी। यो 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 जादू की
हेलो
होल
हेलो हेलो
चाल
हेलो।
कैसन बा? मैं पता है अलग ही लैंग्वेज यूज कर रहा हूँ मैं यहाँ पे। वाह,
सब ठीक बा। रउआ
सब
बताई
ठीक बा।
राउर का हाल बा?
बहुत बढ़िया बा।
इतना लेट काहे हो गई नहीं रउरा?
पबजी खेला तब मारी। अरे मैं कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहा हूँ भाई? कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहा हूँ भाई? किस लैंग्वेज से किस लैंग्वेज में घुस रहा हूँ मैं?
Match
आज तो हो
found.
जाए प्लेट 3। आ जाओ ढोकला भाई, कर लेते हैं प्लेट 3। थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस भाई, पबजी बहुत खेला। यूट्यूबर भी मिला मेरे को नहीं पता भाई पबजी में कोई यूट्यूबर मतलब आया भी होगा। रैंडमली मिल गया भाई। ले मेंटिस। अरे भाई, जादू था क्या? आओ जादू। अब भांगड़ा कर रहा है, ऊपर आओ ऊपर आओ।
We do what we do. Get back to chilling. Fight. Let's see how it goes.
अरे भाई ये कौन है? अरे अरे यार 129 यार, ने बहुत डैमेज दिया। सब तो जल्दी आ गए यहाँ मेरे से पहले। ट्राई हो भाई। अब क्या बोल सकता हूँ मैं, आज लेट हो गया। बाबा रे, मेरा तो एम ही नहीं लग रहा है।
Peace.
आ आ
Creature killer's dead.
आओ सर जी। अरे कोई और मार गया। एक मिनट यार, मेरे को बैकग्राउंड से डिस्कॉर्ड बंद करना पड़ेगा। ओके, मैं आऊँगा तो मेरे पापा सर्विस कर देंगे। वाह, सर्विस हो जाएगी।
Creature killer's dead. Dominating.
बहुत बुरा हुआ। ठगने लगा हूँ ब्रिम पे इतना। अरे भाई, ये जादू मर गया। बंदा तो मेरे बाजू में आया है।
Got him.
बाबा रे, मेरे को थोड़ा क्या प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा क्या रेंज में जाके? ये क्या है? ढुकला। अरे भाई कुछ भी, कुछ अलग ही लेवल का ग्लिच चल रहा है। कहाँ है मेरे बुलेट?
Sit down. And you're done.
खड़े रह रहे भाई, कैंपिंग चल रही है यहाँ पे।
Creature killer's dead.
नहीं ले पाया, इसको तो ले ही लूंगा। मर डाला,
अकेला हूँ।
मर डाला। जादू गार्डियन कर रहा है, कितने देर से कर रहा है जादू?
अभी क्या है?
भी है।
Folded.
रखना चाहिए था।
तो प्लेट कैसे हो गया?
दिन में अम्मी को भी सब देखना मत चलना।
एक तो ये भाई तो इतना गार्डियन कर रहा है, और जहां मैं जा रहा वहीं पे आ जा रहा।
Creature killer's dead.
ये ओडिन कौन कर रहा है? अरे अच्छा तो कैम चल रही है गंदी।
I'll take it. Scoot, cuate.
क्या है भाई, क्या है, क्या है, कितने बार आएगा?
See ya.
ऑफ है, पीछे से मार के बंदर फोर। जरा बी में आना, ए में आना मन। अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं, थोड़ी देर में आना। हट यार, हॉपिंग कर रहा।
Gotcha.
हाउ राजन?
10 kills remaining.
Cuate. Peace.
मेरे से कोई मरना ही नहीं चाह रहा।
मैं तो ये साइड पर खेल रहा हूँ। कोई नहीं आता।
Got him.
ज्यादातर लोग AFK भी होगा।
Five kills
No sweat.
remaining.
अरे यार, अभी तक दिखते नहीं है भाई, अचानक ही दिखते हैं लोग।
Cállate.
क्या ये जादू है? आओ जरा ए पे आओ।
I'll take it.
One kill
Yeah, it's
remaining.
like that.
हाय हाय 80 आ रहा उधर ही आ रहा मैं। आओ 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 आइए ना सर। अरे मार गए 120।
1 minute remaining.
आजा 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 आजा, कहाँ चला रहा है? ए से जा रहा है।
5 बंदे होंगे सब होंगे।
जी जी।
Sit down. Hell yeah! My crew delivers.
लगाऊं क्या कॉम्पी?
कॉम्पी 2 में खेलेंगे हम लोग, 2 लोग खेलेंगे बस। थोड़ा 3 होता तो अच्छा नहीं लगता। फिनिक्स भाई भी है मेरे ख्याल से। भाई 5 चल रहा है, 5-2 चल रहा है। 3 स्टैक चल रहा है उनका। क्या करे, स्वैग भाई भी है लेकिन वो उनका पार्टी बन चुका है। जब मैं आया तभी पार्टी में ले लिया उनको। एक काम करते हैं हम लोग, वो खेलते हैं ना, थोड़ा अनरेटेड खेलते से मस्ती करते आजा। तब तक आ जाएंगे फिनिक्स भाई। आज तो मायरा जी भी खेल रही, वाह यार। सूरज कहीं और से होगा लगता।
बुलाओ मैं फिर मायरा जी को।
क्या पता
छोटू
मायरा जी
पेमेंट
है या फिर उनकी आईडी से कोई और खेल रहा है, पता नहीं। नो आइडिया।
स्टार्ट कर दो फिर।
करो करो ना स्टार्ट। उनका तो चल ही रहा है वैसे मैच। अनरेटेड खेल रही है 1-2। डिस्कॉर्ड देख लेता हूँ, डिस्कॉर्ड में
Match
सच्ची में खेल रही
found.
है या नहीं खेल रही है। हेलो जोया जी, वेलकम टू माय स्ट्रीम। आज आपको प्लेट जाना है। गोल्ड 3 होने वाला है कि नहीं होने वाला मेरे को पता नहीं। बिग फैन सर शाउट आउट दे दो। जोया जी शाउट आउट टू यू। हमारी तीखी चटनी।
Cool. Let's go.
हाँ मैं डिस्कॉर्ड देख रहा था ना, कहाँ है। वाह वाह वाह। ले लो भाई ले लो।
कल से मैं शाम को नहीं आऊंगा।
ये
दिन में एक
जादूगर
दो
के
मैच
साथ फ्लैट नहीं जा पाएंगे। जादू। कोई पिक ही नहीं कर रहा। हाँ, कल क्यों क्यों नहीं आ पाओगे?
नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट वीक जाना है मुझे दिल्ली।
कहाँ जाना है?
दिल्ली दिल्ली।
दिल्ली जाना है, अच्छा। ये बैंड इन कॉम। वैसे नेपाल में नहीं होता है क्या एग्जाम वगैरह?
किस चीज का? हाँ
किसी भी चीज़
होता
का?
तो है।
फिर
दिल्ली जाता हूँ, दोस्तों से भी मिल लेता हूँ ना।
अच्छा अच्छा। भांजी गई जादूगर की?
नहीं नहीं, कल जाएगी।
कल जाएगी। अभी तो मस्ती कर रही होगी मस्त।
मस्ती? मेरा माथा दुख रहा है भाई, खराब करके रखेंगे एकदम।
क्यों, क्या
I
हुआ?
would make fun of their dumb faces, but they're us.
हमारे यहाँ
We
आते
would
तो भाई मेरे जितने भांजे भांजी भाई बहन सब लोग बहुत ज्यादा वो होते हैं, शाय होते हैं।
मेरी बहन जी बहुत एकदम कूल है भाई, चिल।
बेचारा। ऐसा मैं नहीं, जोया बोल रही है। हाँ कहाँ है भाई, आज सही सही में खेल रहे हैं। एक मिनट, मेरे में महेश भाई बैठे हुए हैं अभी भी हैं। मायरा जी तो नहीं खेल रही है, कोई और आईडी से खेल रहा होगा, क्या पता। वही है।
blocking sight.
क्या हो रहा है ये?
Last player standing.
फिनिक्स गायब हो गया यार, 90 दे दिया, भाग गया वो। 30 रेना को मैंने दिया। 30 रेना।
Spike
नाइस
planted.
वन। जोया जी आपको भी टाइमिंग चेंज करना पड़ेगा लग रहा है। अब सुबह सुबह खेलेंगे 1 बजे 2 बजे।
One enemy remaining.
अब रात को आप सोओगे। ओए होए, एंटी डिस्कॉर्ड ऑफ। पैसा फी तमाशा। क्या गाने सुनता हूँ मैं अभी। नाचेगी पीगी फुल्की।
उनके 5 ड्यू लिस्ट।
हट यार, तो खड़े रहते हैं। बज रहा था। हील दे दे भाई, जिंदा रह ले भाई, जिंदा रह ले भाई। हील फेंक दे भाई। दे दे हील, दे 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 हील, दे हील दे 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 रे।
कुछ बोलो अब इस पे, बोलो तो क्या कर रही हो?
दे दे।
बोलो।
कौन?
क्या क्या कर रहे हो?
क्या कर रहे हैं? हम खेल रहे हैं। क्यों
क्या
खेल रहे
कर
हैं?
रहे हो?
वो गेम खेल रहे हैं।
क्या खेल रहे? गेम खेल रहे हैं हम लोग। आप क्या कर रहे हो बताओ?
हम लोग गेम खेल रहे हैं, तुम क्या कर रही हो वो बताओ?
मैं कुछ भी नहीं करी।
कुछ भी नहीं कर रही?
कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे। कुछ तो
नहीं।
करना चाहिए। आइसक्रीम खाओ।
मामा को परेशान नहीं कर रही हो?
नहीं
नहीं कर रही?
नहीं
30 seconds left.
ये सुनने के चक्कर में मर गया।
जाओ जाओ सोने जाओ, घूम के आ जाओ।
Smoke's resonating.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Clutch.
Jet, you tired of me yet? Football earlier and now this.
Need a
Can't
drop.
get a break from me.
देखिए हाँ
हाँ
देखिए तो आगे से
तुम आगे आ जाओगी तो मुझे पंखे का हवा कैसे लगेगा? हाँ
आया
नहीं आ रहा है,
आया
नहीं आ रहा है।
लगता है बांजी को फिजिक्स समझाना पड़ेगा। ओए होए, लगी
अरे
लगी।
गाड़ फाड़ दो।
अरे 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 अरे, बांजी है भाई।
भाग।
Reloading.
अब तो नहीं आएंगे ना सर,
Yikes.
अब तो नहीं आएंगे ना सर।
Not your best.
डबल स्मोक।
कोई कहाँ से एक पीछे रेस
नहीं यार,
कहाँ से मिड से मार दिया।
One enemy
मिड से मार
remaining.
दो।
30 seconds left.
मुंबई की ना दिल्ली वालों की जलेबी है,
This is just the beginning.
जादू
Does anyone
वालों
have lunch?
की।
दो भाई दो
कहाँ है पैसे?
कुछ बेचो ना।
कुछ पैसे नहीं है मेरे पे। क्या बेचूंगा?
बहुत पैसे
Yes.
वो क्लाउड बस्ट वगैरह बेच लो। क्या काम है उसका?
बहुत काम है भाई, मेरे काम का होता है बहुत। इसी से तो जादू करता हूँ मैं। बच गया, अब मर गया। लो किया मैंने 3 लोगों को। 80 68 25।
Feeling sight.
Cover going out.
Spike down mid.
Spike spotted. Mid. Reload.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
टैब दिखाओ। ये लो टैब दिखा रहा।
Shadows traveling.
जादू भाई नीचे से 3 समोसे पे।
और तुम भी उतनी नहीं क्यों?
नीचे तो हो ना।
30 seconds left.
हाय हाय, वीड कैंडी।
Wait until I blind them to strike.
इतनी जल्दी सरेंडर आ गया 1-3 में।
तो हर राउंड यहीं पे आ रहे हैं।
Focus now. Eyes off me.
जब भी करो।
जंपिंग करना, जंपिंग करता।
My ult is ready.
Multiple enemies. A.
मत पिक है, एक और है। शिफ्ट वॉकिंग कर रहा है। ओए ओमन
साला
यहाँ
इसको
पे
कैसे पता चल गया?
शिफ्ट वॉकिंग।
Parties on. No charges left. Stay down. My ult's ready.
पीछे तुम्हारे जेट।
इधर ही आवाज आई थी ना मेरे को।
Last player standing.
यार टाइमिंग।
One enemy remaining.
Rush.
30 seconds left.
भाई अगर ये तू क्लच कर दिया ना, वीड वाली कैंडी दिलाऊंगा। डरपोक है भाई, एक नंबर का जेट। हाँ पीछे छुप के बैठा।
10 seconds left.
प्लांट भी नहीं कर पाएगा।
भाग गया होगा लग रहा है मेरे को तो भी। देख लिया
नहीं
होगा।
प्लांट नहीं कर सकता।
Clutch.
ट्राई हार्ड भी नहीं
If I
किया,
act superior,
पॉप ही सेव कर लिया।
it's because I am. There. Deep breaths, everyone.
महत्वपूर्ण
Your
ऑप।
hearts are pounding.
Need a drop. Thanks.
मैं जब से शॉटगन चलाया जा रहा हूँ, पता है?
I need this.
स्मोक स्मोक स्मोक। बी पे।
Joke's over. You're dead.
Blocking sight.
Who's next?
अरे बचाओ तो। 8143 है। कैसे बचाओ? 8143 है।
ऑफ कर रहा होगा ना? ए पे आ गए। मुंबई की ना दिल्ली वाले की।
सब साइड पे
One
गए।
enemy
Party's
remaining.
over.
Spike
इधर
ये
इधर।
ठीक
down
है।
A.
143 है। नहीं
कूरो मिल गई, कूरो।
Like everyone else.
This place is nice, but not nice enough to die in. Let's win and get out of here.
भाई बकी अभी भी डोमिनेटिंग है भाई, क्या बोल रहे हो? नहीं, यहाँ पे खड़े हो, यहाँ पे खड़े हो, यहाँ पे खड़े हो।
Here.
मतलब पीक लेना ना, इधर 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 इस पे खड़े हो, उस पे खड़े हो। आगे। अरे बहुत जल्दी स्मोक। चलो कोई नहीं, आने दो, आवाज तो
Spike
करेंगे।
down A.
एक आवाज पे रैप्टा मारूंगा। ए पे।
Get out of my way.
हेवन है, हेवन है। हेवन पे ही था, आवाज आया। लगा ही था मेरे को।
One enemy remaining.
राइट क्लिक करने के लिए खड़ा था, पता है?
Blocking sight. We got this.
Need a drop.
I need this. There.
This is gonna be fun.
दो दो कोई तो निपटेगा। बच गया। मेरे को भी ऑप चाहिए यार।
Blocking
रुको।
sight.
Spike down mid.
अच्छा तू यहाँ पे देख, मैं मिट जा रहा। ओए
अरे यहीं पे दोनों।
ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं करने का, अब ऑप मिल जाएगी उसको।
Enemy kill.
हिट भी वहीं।
स्पाइक है।
Blocking sight.
Reloading.
No charges left.
Going out.
One enemy remaining.
हिट भी वहीं।
Enemy Spotted.
30 seconds left.
They were killing the vibe. Reloading.
The bags
Don't know, job.
at least one of us.
I can buy for you.
पता है इसमें धीरे धीरे पिक करोगे ना मार नहीं पाओगे। मैं पहले करता था लेकिन वो गोल्ड में था, गोल्ड सिल्वर में धीरे धीरे पिक करोगे तो चलता है, लेकिन प्लेट लॉबी डायमंड लॉबी में नहीं चलता। इसमें बहुत फास्ट
पैसे
पिक
भी
करना
चले
पड़ता है। फास्ट पिक या फर्स्ट पिक उसी में क्या निकलता है। जादू भाई क्या आवाज आ रही है? नॉइस सप्रेशन ओपन करिए।
Enemy B.
बच गया भाई कैसे तो।
भाई 120 है देना। लेग शॉट लगाओ तो। बैक डाउन।
Spike down mid.
अरे भाई धुल रहे हैं भाई।
Cutting their vision. Stealing sight.
Going out.
क्या बॉडी शॉट 26 कैसे पड़ा? अच्छा उस तल मारा होगा ना मैं।
उसको लेग शॉट मारा भाई 120 पे।
One enemy remaining.
स्पॉन 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 हमारे ऑफ लेने आओ।
30 seconds left.
एक बार ऊपर ही देख लेना 1% ऊपर। बस वैसे खड़ा रहता है वो, देखना मैंने शॉटगन लिया होगा क्योंकि लास्ट
10
टाइम भी वैसे
seconds
किया उसने।
left.
Smoke's resonating.
Damn right we're crushing it.
आज यार ऐसे लग रहा है पबजी खेल रही नींद आने लगा। हैं ये भाई
Enemy B.
ये डैश ही नहीं हुआ।
अरे यार हट।
अंदर और मैं खेलो तुम ओके बाय। क्या लिखा है नो लाइफ ने? कुछ समझ में आ रहा है क्या? मैं कुछ पढ़ रहा हूँ ना। जादू जादू
करो करो।
नो लाइफ ने लिखा है ये।
One enemy remaining.
हेलो थंडर और मैं खेलो तुम ओके बाय। क्या लिखा है इसने? समझ में आया? हेलो थंडर और मैं खेलो तुम ओके बाय। मैं तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आया भाई क्या
Just let
लिखा है
them
इसमें।
try to catch me.
क्या बोल रहे हो भाई नो लाइफ? ये कौन सी लैंग्वेज है भाई? हेलो
Merci.
आए क्या नो लाइफ?
हेलो हेलो हेलो
हाँ ये कौन सी लैंग्वेज है भाई बताओ जरा।
क्या भेज दिया मैंने?
हेलो थंडर और मैं खेलो तुम ओके बाय। ये क्या लैंग्वेज है भाई?
मैंने कब बोला?
मैं स्क्रीन में दिखा रहा
कब
अभी।
बोला?
हेलो थंडर और मैं खेलो तुम ओके बाय।
क्या? अरे मैंने ऐसा कुछ नहीं लिखा, ध्यान से देखो।
Got him. My ult's ready.
यही लिखा है भाई, एग्जैक्ट पढ़ा हूँ।
अरे मैं तुम्हें स्क्रीनशॉट भेजूंगा, अपने मैंने सिर्फ हेलो लिखा है।
मैं लाइव में दिखा रहा भाई ये सब, यही आया है मेरे को।
पता नहीं भाई।
Who's next?
ये पे गए क्या?
हेलो के बाद तो कोई विस्पर में कोई चैट ही नहीं डाली।
देखो ना लाइव में, देखो ना लाइव में भी दिखा रहा।
एक मिनट। हाँ देखो ये कैसे
बैक ऑफ द साइड है, बैक ऑफ द साइड है, बैक ऑफ द
नहीं
साइड
नहीं
है,
नहीं
back
नहीं
of the
नहीं,
One enemy remaining.
भाग गया क्या?
ये मिड था वैसे।
अब उठाओ मुझे।
दिखाओ आप।
फिर सेव करेगा ये, बैठे रहते हैं।
30
हाँ
seconds
दिखाओ,
left.
ये देखो
दिखाओ दिखाओ।
देखो, हेलो थंडर और मैं खेलो तुम ओके बाय। क्या है ये?
अरे वो मे 2 का है, देखो ना डे, देखो ना डे मे 2।
अच्छा मेट टू, तो इतना पुराना क्यों दिखा रहा है मेरे को?
10 seconds
पता
left.
नहीं भाई,
तो ना पुराना मैसेज अभी आ रहा है, बाबा रे।
वही मैं सोचूं, मैंने हेलो अभी लिखा है तो उस दिन का था। ओ तुम्हें एक जेन्युइन बात बता दूं मेरे साथ क्या हुआ। आज तक मैं जो अपना हेडफोन यूज कर रहा था वो मैं बहुत डिले पे यूज कर रहा था। कल मैंने अपना जो
Last round
टाइप सी
in
वाला
the
लगाया
Use
उसमें बहुत
everything you
एक्यूरेट
have.
साउंड आ
We
रहा है।
lose it anyway.
ओह
विक्टर भाई ऑफ किसको दे दिया?
किसी को नहीं दिया, मैं गन लिया, वेंडल लिया।
Need
दो
a
मेरे को
drop.
दो,
बच लूंगा ना।
दे गन दे।
Thanks.
ए पे है। अरे भयंकर वाली नींद आ रही है यार, क्या हो रहा है पता नहीं।
हाँ तो मुझे भी मैं अभी स्विमिंग
80 तो 2 लेवल का बंदा घुस के मार रहा है मेरे को।
बिगिनर बन।
बहुत बढ़िया, पीछे पीछे देख, वीट कैंडी। शॉटगन
Spike
वर्सेस ऑफ।
down A. One enemy remaining.
Teleport's ready. Watch them run.
कहीं घूम रहा होगा देखना।
Last player standing.
साला
30
इसकी
seconds
कलर तक
left.
चेंज हो रही है, देखो ना। देख रहे हो उसको, वोमेन का जूम करेगा तो रेड हो जाती है।
Spike planted.
Shadows traveling.
भाई ये क्लच के तो 10 रुपया।
Cover going out. What's another death?
आएगा देखना।
Clutch. Switching
कल रात में
sides.
मैंने गेम खेला
I'm
है,
amped.
भयानक
Let's
इतने
go.
बेवकूफ
I got
बंदे
things to do.
दो लोग तो एएफ के चले गए, वो सारे सुअर के सुअर। एक S3 था, एक गोल्ड 2। फिर भी मतलब एक एक किल करके आधे राउंड निकलवा दिए इन्हें, 2-5 करा के फिर भाग गए सुअर के।
मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ ना,
मैं-
देखो आप क्यों खेलते हो मुंबई सर्वर? सोलो में कभी मत खेलना, डुओ में कभी मत खेलना, ट्रायो में खेलना है तो खेल लेना, लेकिन
मतलब इतने मतलब गालियां दे रहे हैं भाई, बॉटम फ्रैग करके गालियां दे रहे हैं।
बोल रहा हूँ ना, मुंबई सर्वर
खेलने के
खेलना ही नहीं। जब 5 स्टैक होगा ना तब खेलो, और एक रहता है सिंगापुर, सबसे बढ़िया। रैंडम में बहुत ऐसे बंदे आते हैं।
They're weak. Good.
Blocking sight.
Reloading.
हील होगा क्या?
See ya.
Cover going out.
One enemy remaining.
हील लगा दो,
Reloading.
भगवान के नाम पे हील दे दो।
Flawless.
Eto. Now they know who we are.
Weapon choice. It is so personal, no? You pick a gun and it tells me who you are. Shadows traveling.
Bye.
टैब मत दबाओ, जादूगर की फैन हो। बेइज्जती हो रही है जादू।
55 मारा यार उसने ना को।
Cutting their vision.
टांगों में लग रही है।
Grounded.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
कितना रह गया?
My burden never ends.
हाँ जरा ट्राई करना है या फिर और लोग आ रहे हैं?
ट्राइयो और तो कोई आ नहीं रहा है। ढोकला का तो पिटाई हो जाएगा अगर वो आया तो।
Reloading.
स्वैग दादा है लेकिन बोल रहे ना पापा है घर पे। और जोया दीदी तो आएंगी नहीं है ना।
Caution here.
I
Spike
have the
drop.
spike.
जोया तो शायद से रात को आएगी।
Cutting their vision.
Blocking sight.
यार बच्ची मेरे को डैश कर देना था। आप लेकिन ना हग ना जादू। वो देख रहा है कि तुम ना देख रहे हो। आप गया लाए।
Last player standing.
टीपी लगाना था यार मेरे को।
वो एक सैचल फेंक रहा है, स्पेक्टर मार रहा है।
I have the
ये जल्दी जल्दी खत्म करो।
The enemy only
एक
looks
फिनिक्स भाई आ सकते हैं अभी मेरे ख्याल से।
Need a drop.
still a difference.
फिनिक्स भाई भी चलेगा लग रहा है। हाँ चलेगा।
मुझे इस मैच के लिए फिर जाना पड़ेगा शाम को।
शाम को आओगे।
Need this.
There. Need a drop.
Let's fly. One death.
अभी दे दो।
Shadows traveling.
जेट लो है।
Cover going out. Enemy A. Careful.
71।
Spike down A.
Blinding.
Cutting A.
Last player standing.
साला
I feel the strain.
Need a drop.
Without omen.
वो मीम में आया था याद है?
Does anyone have funds?
वो क्या बोलते हैं मंत्र, क्या नाम मंत्र बोलता है यार वो, राम भगवान का कुछ आया था ना, हे जी मंगल भव मंगल, वही वैसा ही चिंता वो। भाई इतना इतना अच्छा गाना है भाई, इसका मीम में डाल रहे हैं भाई, अलग अलग बेकार। इतना अच्छा सुंदर गाना भाई, क्यों शूट
Spike
कर रहे हो
down
भाई?
B.
He's dead. My ult is ready.
खाली पकड़ बुला लिए।
Last player
अरे
standing.
यार ठीक लेके खड़ा है।
I'm up.
मारना मेन पे अल्ट।
Smoke's up.
किधर स्मोक डाल रहा पता नहीं, बड़ा कंफ्यूज हो गया था बंदा।
Look your enemy in the eye. It helps with
Need a drop.
accuracy.
They are so
There.
dead.
मैं यूट्यूब को निकालता हूँ, ठीक है? हटो हटो हटो।
अरे मैं निकाल, अरे ऑफ है क्या? चलो देखना थोड़ा सा राइट साइड पे लेना पिक, ठीक है? थोड़ा राइट पे, पूरा नहीं आता है वो।
Keep up.
गिव मी ओमेन। हे जैसे मैं गया तब भी आया वो।
Blocking sight.
Stealing sight. Stealing sight.
Enemy green.
अरे यार जाओ।
दिख ही नहीं रहा बंदा कहाँ पे है।
नीचे ही है।
मैं थोड़ा पीछे जा रहा।
Joke's over. You're dead.
उसको तो मैं नहीं बचा रहा। एक पीक दे दो भाई। आई विल शो नो मर्सी।
Last player
और बचा
standing.
लो।
ऑफ क्या बचाऊंगा मैं, खेलूंगा।
नहीं नहीं, मार के और बचाना।
30 seconds left.
Spike planted.
One enemy remaining.
No charges left.
नहीं यार, ऊपर शिफ्ट वॉकिंग कर रहा है बिना आवाज के।
डील देख रहा हूँ जब तक तुम लोग आओ, ठीक है?
हो गया बस, कर लो कुछ रेंज वेंज।
मैं रेंज से ही बाहर हूँ। अच्छा अभी जी का और पीआरएक्स का मैच है?
I got your backs. Just
जी का और पीआरएक्स का फिर से मैच हो रहा है, लंदन वाला हो गया।
अरे
Defenders
सरेंडर हो
win.
गए।
वाओ।
हमने 10-8 में सरेंडर कर दिया।
लोअर फाइनल से लोअर फाइनल से लोअर फाइनल।
फिर से जी और पीआरएक्स का भी लंदन वाला।
हाँ मैप टू लोटस मेरे ख्याल से सीडी के लिए हो रहा है।
क्या करे फिर, वॉच पार्टी बैठा दे क्या?
मेरे ख्याल से ये सीड के लिए हो रहा है, सीड के लिए। अब वो वन सीड के लिए।
चलो तुम खेलो, ठीक है? मैं आता हूँ।
ए जा रहे हो?
काम।
मैं भी देख लूँ क्या? पीआरएक्स वैसे जी बहुत देखने का मन कर रहा।
लगा लो, मैं तुम्हारी स्ट्रीम पे आ जाऊंगा।
ठीक है, देख तो सकते हैं ना, बैन वैन तो नहीं पड़ता है।
पता नहीं,
दूसरे
मेरे ख्याल
के
से बैन पड़ने के चांस तो होते हैं, क्योंकि
होते
बिना उसके करो तो बैन देते हैं। अभी तो ये लोग यूट्यूबर लोग करते नहीं, तो करने तो दिक्कत
करते
है।
करते
पहला सुनो, हेवन पहला था तो वो पीआरएक्स जीत गई 13-6 से। अब लोटस है, पीआरएक्स का ही चॉइस है ये भी। पोस्टल राउंड चल रहा है।
कॉम्पी नहीं चल रही थी क्या? नहीं नहीं कॉम्पी नहीं, हम लोग अनरेटेड कर रहे थे, हम लोग इंतजार कर रहे थे कि कोई आ जाए तो हम लोग कस्टम करे 5 स्टैक, पर कोई आया नहीं। जादू भी ऊपर से चला गया, बोल रहा है शाम को आऊँगा, कल से नहीं आऊँगा बोल रहा है शाम को। जी वर्सेस पीआरएक्स। ओके ओके। चलो भाई चालू करते हैं.
Loves to play around, but already you can kind of see what this
बैन दे देंगे बैन.
does.
पता नहीं,
Walls coming in,
मैं तो
on the
देख रहा.
clock quite a bit, and have some information off of
रुको
that
मैं
as well.
स्क्रीन चेंज कर रहा हूँ.
Oh, Pat has to stay on.
I kind of wonder at a certain point though, does it really matter as PRX
Throwing
send a
net.
couple of players over the top of those walls? Maybe they're not going to be too concerned, but we'll see how that plays out.
30
Get
seconds
deeper
left.
into this game. Here's the push now on to
Nice, yeah.
Crystal, pushed away, but Patman standing and delivering just for the one. Crystal now needs to put something together and can't do it.
आओ डिस्कॉर्ड पे आओ, देखते हैं आज तो.
Now a lot of
तुम्हारे
space
DC
off of it as
हाँ
well.
डिस्कॉर्ड पे.
Just continuing to hold down the lines,
Nice.
maybe you push all the way up through into spawn.
So मैंने अभी तक तुम्हारा डिस्कॉर्ड ज्वाइन नहीं किया है.
वाह वाह वाह.
See anything else? GE, it depends on their approach, how silent you're gonna be, what you do with the smokes, the door.
अबे इतना क्वालिटी में चल रहा है क्या?
Now they're trying to
लैगी हो रहा है गेम.
now they're trying to work in
गेम बंद कर
shoulder to
देता हूँ.
shoulder. Does it work though?
Just a contact play, timing looking great here for something, and Envy providing a distraction,
remaining.
something usually so clean on the pistol, whipping a couple of
Last
shots,
player
whipping a
standing.
lot
Oh
of
ho
shots.
ho ho ho.
But it's okay, because Envy is there for the triple in the round, and PRX win themselves another pistol.
Nice.
Which again just doesn't really bode too well for GE. I mean, already the idea kind of looks fun and pretty good against PRX, but with PRX are just still walking into sites like that, you know, all these
One
really
enemy.
kind of, you just think about that
Player
another
standing.
time. You know, this is one of those where they just had all the information,
I'll find those
shots
ciphers.
whiffed.
Yeah, not happy with himself, but I think happy with the result. So, job done.
Yeah, good to go. Back over onto trying to slow down the pace of this map as much as possible. Maybe playing a long game with Crystal's ultimates. He's on to stabilize throughout round after round. Meanwhile for GE, I want to say at least they get some points. They get one gun away, although it wasn't a big gun. It doesn't matter. You think about what Pat mentioned yesterday in the post-conference as well, that he kind of struggled to reset mentally
Sound
map to
sensor up.
map. He got kind of way too upset in the initial loss.
क्या हो क्या रहा है? उनकी तरफ से नहीं चल रहा है क्या ढंग से?
Today, but right now,
I must wait.
quick information, try to set up those walls once more.
GE a bit more proactive on this defense. Yudatan going to try to push his way forward, but it's Autumn that will strike first onto
पूरी ये देखो G versus PRX.
Swing, not really seeing too much else off of it. PRX thinking to end up on towards this A site, but Pat is close by, still has the haunt, and at the same time, Crystal, excuse me, does have the barrier mesh to really slow things down, allow for the rotations to come over, and that's exactly what G intends to do.
Yeah, you can't play two. Rex, don't worry about it. A headshot will be the difference maker there as Crystal's just plucked out of the round. A headshot will be the difference maker there as Crystal's just plucked out of the round. A-site taken, you've got a very, very late lurk from Divide.
Spike planted.
Too late.
Maybe too late. I think that's a lot of ground to cover. But Envy, just the 1-for-1. Something has got to make sure that he does not fall here, because that could really bring this round back into an awkward position. Got that push available, and there is Divide able to strike. So it was better late than never in the end. And it looks like PRX should be getting through this round, but we'll see what Harvey
Something तो मेरा favorite है यार.
able to strike, so it was better late than never in the end. And it looks like PRX should be getting through this round, but we'll see what Harvey can do. Walks his way in on his A site, but it's not going to work out this time around. It's just a little bit too weird of a round, really, from PRX, isn't it?
It feels that way. It really does. But this is just the most PRX thing. Starting off against the back foot, they might have gone down to the opening picks But for all of GE's util and plans, it doesn't matter if something just swings, takes down Crystal, and then the rest of them just to play around the spike, the duels, always the 1v1s. Jovi just talked about it. Big Time just talked about it. Let's not see that too much. Now they've got to play tighter, play together. After this round, though, you don't imagine it's going to be too much. They're just trying to clash against PRX around Rubble. Oh, okay.
Good shot from Yutan. Something's out of their picture early on in the piece, and with that, PRX have been rerouted over towards C. Morales going to clear it out as well, so they are aware at this point that PRX have exited.
Could be okay. Maybe some kill trips possible. Let's locations.
Unknown कौन है?
The main thing
Stopper will be neutralized.
Don't know लिखा है. Share.
Envy trying to hold the line at this point, but I don't know that there's too much that he can do about it. Of course, Jing done, and Harvey in from behind as well. GE, they just steal around out of nowhere.
Oh, slap my tail and call me wrong, Jordan. Let's see that again. I mean, I wasn't expecting Javi to be able to win out the 1v1, just trying to pick his timing around the positioning towards the back of Mounds. Affords him a second, well, another gun picked up by GE. But ultimately, what comes down to it is, even though Jing pulled out that showstopper, just the ult from the deadlock puts him into the coffin, and that brings all the initiative back towards the team, and you can still see what this composition can do. Thrifty brought up now, and hopefully more rounds with it. PRX, though, just back at it again.
Yeah, but it's good to see some signs of life for GE early on in the piece. Once again, a faster play from PRX out Rubble. It is something in Jing that are leading the charge, and kind of like what I was saying, does it really matter if you've got this fancy wall, that fancy wall? If they can just go over the top of it, PRX are still going to be able to pick the pace up, and that's exactly what they've done in this round. GE are fighting, but they are not winning.
They are just bruised up right now. I mean, I'm trying to think, like, how could you possibly slow this down that much further? Maybe a big, well-timed grab net, but when you haven't really seen PRX play at this pace, I mean, you kind of felt it once back in that playoffs game. But at this point, PRX just continues to want to run it down A or C, perhaps at some point. It's just difficult. I think you really need to position the Sentinels just right. Otherwise, fancy walls will be just that, fancy, and that's it.
4-1. Map 2 heading in the same direction as Map 1 at the moment, and again, a little bit of a cause for concern for Global Esports, so I imagine we're getting the attack timeout shortly. Is it happening right now?
It really has to be, because if not, I mean, PRX is just going to run the same thing again. I mean, the round barriers just dropped, and instantly you have both duelists shoving it all the way up. One out towards stairs, or on towards A site. Meanwhile, it's another duelist out towards baby door. Now we're going into C. No timeout called. G will just have to try and go again. This time it's the Cypher with the trips and a sonic sensor to try to slow down PRX pacing, but they have other plans in mind. Pick up the orb, go elsewhere. Jing's building up to another ult. Meanwhile, something's just peeking around A.
Yeah, he's just lurked out. Rubble have to take that space. Another staging ground for PRX for their next offense.
Would it be, though, then for G to shift towards something more retake-centric? Pat picking up an alt orb or a kill. Could be Nightfall, could be big.
Could be something in this one for G.
PRX एक मैच जीत चुका है.
There's two players waiting for him, but that's two frags waiting for Harvey. And GE are back in a big way for round number 6.
5v2.
Out for semi-high-low. And now you're wondering about the other choke points in towards Link. And it's Crystal.
Envy trying to put this one together. It's a decent start. Costs a bit of HP on Envy, but they are finding their kills, and PRX are one of the best teams at putting these kinds of rounds together. A 2vx starts to feel doable as it's now back down to just the 2-on-2. Paranoia pushing through, but Envy can still see, and he will buy some time for Jing to recover for a third. No, GE, no, not like this. A 2v1 now for Autumn to try and put it together, but that
आई
not like this.
ये क्या
A
था?
2v1 now for Autumn to try and put it together, but that is criminal.
Your heart just has to ache for this team.
The best,
On paper,
the best risk
everything
here.
should be theirs.
How can you let that round slip?
They had the numbers. But that's again what PRX intends to do. Down to the 1v1s, G needed to set up. They were trying to set up the best possible time to retake. Go off of the flash on the Omen altogether. Sharp shots are sharp shots, but PRX has them too. And as soon as you try to step back in the baby door, PRX greets you right around the corner. This time again, 4-1 in towards A site.
Really surprised we haven't had a timeout just yet for GE. I think they need it. But I suppose they don't have much in this round to really work with, so might not get too much value out of it coming into round 7. They're looking a bit rattled on the stage, I have to say.
Really want to look to the coaching, but it doesn't feel as though you have the opportunity to do that. Jing's still holding into position. That's going to be a gun now. But PRX has the C site. I mean, these two teams, you think about it again, PRX, the initial pioneers of the double duelist. GE now playing something that looks batshit crazy.
Spike planted.
Triple Sentinel.
I mean, you can get points for doing something a bit different, Quack, but it's got to work. And so far it's not. Map 1, it didn't work. Map 2, it's also not working here for GE. So I'm not convinced, certainly. Forsaken doesn't know how close he is to a bullet in the side of the head. Harvey actually does get Forsaken. GE have been more competitive in these weird rounds than anywhere else. But now it's on the shoulders of Autumn. Solo again against 2. He couldn't do it in the last round, and he is really waiting down the clock here. Catches something. I think he's timed himself out of this round. Davai waiting and gets the freebie in the back of the head. So PRX up 6-1, and yeah, points for trying something different here as GE, but
डिवाइस पहले से पतला हो गया ना?
on stage today.
Always have that one, Devive. But yeah, for whatever reason, you know, you have to think some kind of a mental thing as well up to these duels. But when PRX are just feeling that fiery, that relentless, round after round, every single corner peaked. There's a player just right around. It's one of those things. It's very hard to quantify, but that's what Big Time was talking about exactly. Let's play against this team. This is what happens. Around. It's one of those things. It's very hard to quantify, but that's what Big Time was talking about exactly. Let's play against this team. This is what happens.
Need to get a coach cam here, surely. Come on. I need to see.
There we go.
There we go. I mean, cannot be happy sitting in that chair right now. This has been a poor display from GE so far, and there's like, you can't be losing a 5v2 on a stage like this against PRX. That is not even down to the coaching. There's only so much you can do as a coach in that situation. That is just fundamental errors from GE. They have to find a way to fix it, and they have to do it in the next, you know, maybe a couple of rounds. Otherwise, this is going to start to become insurmountable. A reverse sweep will very nearly be required here for GE.
Just
how often do you see that happen?
You want to see at least, hopefully, a round or two. It would mean so much to the team right now on the stage to just take one round, get fired up, get going. I want to see rage. I want to see Pat back in that form, back with that slight ego. You want to take down your ex-team.
Come on. Show us something on the stage today, please.
Big TP Forsaken has a lot of information now. He's trying to get a couple of pot shots through, but GE with an intention to go with a TikTok wall, or not.
B side, and you've got all that information off the back of the Seekers as well. Flag goes down. Nightfall doesn't quite connect onto any of those PRX players, so they're feeling pretty okay about things. And Devi again is on the late lurk. He's on the flank. He's been doing that all game long. Paranoia, not a problem. Something covering things off. Envy eventually does fall, but time is of the essence now for GE as they start to push their way in. Unitard is making the difference. He gets the res across as well. Devi is dealt with. Unitán coming alive when it's needed
Nice.
at the most. Can they get the
Something.
better of something and get that defuse? It's all good.
Aye.
GE have a round.
And they will fight back. Yudotan, the ice to Jing's fire. I mean, this guy is another one of those original duelists for the team. Known to PRX, his name literally meaning homing missile. And he's the one, of course,
Unknown.
down. The duelist of PRX comes back in, swings on a swivel, and suddenly you have the res back. A quad kill out for the round, and this is exactly what they've been needing. Just the mental composure, have that trust, get in with the flashes and push it for the retake. Doesn't matter what PRX has.
They need more though. They need another round here, Crack. It can't just be a one and done.
It feels like they should be able to. PRX doesn't have the guns right now. They only have positioning around A, and it's the same wall again. They're going to be thinking about Yudotan possibly pacing through. It's tree, but something has an entry.
Yeah, something out of nowhere. He'll be shut down before it gets too exciting for PRX. Now it's Devi's turn. Oh no. The double from Devi. Just as GE start to look alive again, now it is very much hanging in the balance. Auto holding strong. Can't quite hold the line. Jing half HP below that, in fact, and it's Crystal in another clutch.
Has an ult.
It even going to be required. Only a couple of bullets away from death. It's slowed down now. Jing off the side. He's going to take a risk. I like this a lot from Jing. Crystal will not find him.
Just roll off the back. But he's going to trust in the ult.
Jing's going to walk in behind him and shoot him in the back of the head. Crystal's got no idea.
Oh shit, yeah.
Oh, another one for PRX. And GE, they just cannot get any momentum in this series at all.
It's mental, I'm telling you. The number just continues to grow. He had everything in the toolkit to work with. And PRX had absolutely none. Just the Sheriffs, and Devi somehow finds another multi-kill. For all of Autumn's efforts, down to the last, GE seems to have lost composure right at this juncture.
You can see even on the player cams, like it's not even a big deal for PRX. Jing's not getting too excited about that, just a cursory fist bump, you know, but I think PRX know that they are so in command of this game right now that they just got to keep on going.
Both timeouts called in the first half. PRX just comfortably breezing through.
Well, I mean, the worst part about this as well for Global is the composition that they've built is designed to do work on the defense, and they're not doing that. They're not even doing anything on the defense, so you go and think, well, we're going to move on to the attack.
Same hai bhai.
Yeah. What tools do they even have?
2-7.
This is where they're supposed to be cashing in on this composition, and unfortunately, they're not getting the payout that they want.
It's theory can only do so much. The practice on the actual server itself is a whole other thing.
ये खुश है भाई.
You really just need to get your players feeling good, feeling comfortable, feeling enraged.
उधर उसका कोच चिल्लाया जा रहा है कि तो क्या कर रहा है 2-7 में है
Nature
तू.
of the beast though, isn't it, right? First time as a team on the stage like this, you're up against perhaps the most experienced team in the world pretty much on stages
क्या
like
इस बारी
this.
जीत जाएगा क्या PRX?
A core that's been together for so many years. You're not expected to come into this series and absolutely dominate, but GE have to take this as a learning experience going forward. Hopefully they can learn
ओए होए.
in this series, but so far we're just not seeing it. PRX another double entry. There's really nothing to be done here for GE at all, and PRX are running rings around them.
I mean, what's the lesson here, Jordan? Flawless from PRX. And these guys, well, they just show up against GE like school
मेरे को मजा आ रहा है.
Saturday, which is today's day. No class. Just push them down. Instant shots through the smoke. Something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick it up. I'll pick up what you're putting down. I would say actually though that PRX looking all
ओए होए.
at the moment. They are just
शॉट मारा है.
on point. They are delivering the level that you would expect.
This is so much disrespect.
Yeah.
No escape.
Next round again.
But you know, if you can get away with it, then yeah, disrespect away.
That's the game. Don't hate the player. Ops brought out again, and alts online. GE trying to play more defensive positions. Multiple trips all the way towards the A side.
बाप रे.
Maybe try to play
को
towards the offense.
पूरा आइडिया है भाई.
But that's information to PRX now. First time that we have a slow round in this first half now. Just for PRX to run circles around. We're back into B.
Or something. He's Up to his usual tricks on the other side of the map, but
Bring them down.
you're right. PRX starting to push their way forward toward B. Or at least put some pressure on that with the util. They actually haven't committed.
मेरे को लग रहा है कि जिंग पुश करने वाला है.
Pull something out of GE, and they have. It's Utatan pushing his way forward. Devi will spot that out.
गया डिवाइड तो गया.
Himself will be pushed away. 40 seconds on the clock here. PRX are gonna have to lock in for something soon. Well, it's Jing with the showstopper. It's not gonna find anything just yet. He goes through the stage.
Find हो गया.
Awesome. That's a really bold move when you know the showstopper has been pulled. Crystal, only a 1-for-1 again. The ace hack cracked open without too much drama here for PRX.
At least though, Avi has the flash, wants to go fast.
नहीं.
Straight through it. Utatan gets himself one. It's not quite going to be enough. Harvey's position noted as well. Envy spotting him round the corner and something locking in.
2-9 हो गया भाई. 2-7 से 2-9 हो गया.
What can you say about these rounds?
ये तो दिक्कत वाली बात है.
But it is a demolition.
Just blown to pieces. The showstopper. You applaud the boldness, the courage to even try and go for it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think you kind of have to be taking some risks now as GE, because playing standard clearly is not working for them. They've got to try something different. Throw a fox among the hen house, throw a spanner in the works, see if you kind of have to be taking some
the courage to even try and go for it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think you kind of have to be taking some risks now as
भाई
GE,
जिंग
because playing standard
कैसे
clearly
पकड़
is
ले रहा
not
है सबको.
working for them. They've got to try something different. Throw a fox among the hen house, throw a spanner in the works, see if you can find a way to.
समथिंग का तो कुछ और ही अलग चल रहा है.
The thing is, like, now it seems like PRX are just so far ahead. They're riding so far on that wave of momentum.
Just spear tackling them through and through. Now it's Devi out with an Odin, and they're marching down C. Autumn trying to slow it down.
He's doing a pretty good job of it, actually. Autumn eventually does get brought down by Forsaken, but the reinforcements will arrive here for GE and filter their way out through the door. The PRX pushed away. And a res as well to try and secure this final round of the half. A 9-3 would be something for GE to work with.
1v5 निकाल दो भाई. 9-3 का कर्स.
Knows they're hot on his heels.
He's playing ring around the rosy with GE pretty nicely. He's hoping to isolate a duel here, and he's been able to do that, but down to 31 HP.
Gets one more, he has the TP. Maybe he could go somewhere. Be risky, but it could work. So much time to work off of as well.
I don't have a lot of faith.
Confirmation that Forsaken's still lurking around waterfall position, and that's where Javi has his crosshairs strained in.
Yeah, rotation.
That's the confidence. That's the form. And after that, just knowing that it would either have to be the spike or
half time.
Forsaken another kill.
3-9.
G trying to keep themselves cool.
कर्स आ गया.
3-9 though, and as you go into the second half, you really have to wonder how does this circus of a composition would look on the attack, and they're without timeouts now. I have to say that as well. If they don't start off just right, PRX, I think we're thinking about a possible 3-0 now. The only question mark left would be, what does the composition look like then on Ascent?
No, the real question right now is, are you a fried spring roll or
रियाद गन बड़ी चाहिए.
Yeah, we're healthy. We go fresh.
No way, bro. I'm going fried every day.
I like lime.
भाई कुछ लोगों को रियाद गन बड़ी चाहिए देखो.
The only question mark left would be, what does the composition look like then on Ascent?
No,
सबको चाहिए एक मिनट इसको भी चाहिए रियाद गन. Moxie hashtag 1307.
No, the real question right now is, are you a fried spring roll or a fresh spring roll guy?
Yeah, we're healthy. We go fresh.
No way, bro. I'm going fried every day.
I like lime sauces, so that's me. But you know, fans clearly kind of agree with me. So you're
like
wrong.
everyone's going fresh.
Okay. All jokes aside, though, definitely the crowd favorites, PRX and fresh spring rolls. Maybe that's what GE will look like at the end of the map as well, completely fried. You don't want that. You do not want that. First ever deep run in Pacific playoffs.
Oh, I mean, look.
This is the dream.
Well, the dream is turning into a nightmare right now for GE. However, I think you have to say, even if they were to go out here, top 3,
it's not bad.
Really not a bad shout in your first playoffs. So I think we still have to kind of keep that in mind a little bit. But again, GE obviously coming into today wanting more than that. They want more than what they've been able to deliver so far. They've picked up only 9 rounds total over the 2 maps. And that might be continuing, although
तो सब push कर रहे हैं.
shots gives the opportunity back.
And how you kind of hold out. The spike clearly planted the safe spot for Tree.
ये क्या हुआ है?
Just the sheriff. The spike
continuing.
ये fight लेने के बाद तुरंत
shots gives the opportunity back.
And how you kind of hold
ये
out.
देखो.
The spike clearly planted the safe spot for Tree. Just the sheriff and a dream.
1v2 है. ये यार का तो चलो.
Doesn't even get the chance to shoot a bullet. So GE
Finally cuts start.
Second half pistol. Same story as what we saw in the first map. 9-3 first half. GE wins the pistol in the second. They only picked up 6 rounds in the end over on Haven. Definitely hoping to improve upon that here on Lotus.
Yeah. That's just what we all want to see. Keep the dream alive. Go in. Guns blazing outside of B.
9-3 start हो चुका है.
Still though, off to the next round, and this is where you get to build up that speed. 2 marshals, and they will be the money men, just trying to look for picks and bits of information. Meanwhile, the
2 marshal, एक guardian, एक vandal, एक bulldog. सारे गन लिया है.
But he's going to call confirmation, and that's rotations now. PRX all getting across.
Bring them down.
GE will be slowed down a little.
But he's going to call confirmation, and that's rotations now. PRX all getting across.
Bring them down.
GE will be slowed down a little by that dark cover. Looks like they're going to go through it anyway. Fight here to try and hold on. Good for one always. Get a little bit worried for GE. Something get multiple shots off there, and now Jing coming into play as well. That's the spike dropped, and Autumn is nowhere to be seen.
Jing has a gun.
Autumn versus Zing.
He's got no idea where Autumn's coming from, though. He thinks maybe there's even a flank coming through.
Autumn's just going to have to either find a headshot or really find the right peaks. You know, one shot, peek back over the next.
एक तो उनकी ना मतलब इतनी जल्दी आ रही है.
Really.
PRX can put something together. How does something get multiple shots off? Fight here to try and hold on. Good for one always.
Spike
well.
down, C.
Starting to get a little bit worried for GE that maybe PRX can put something together. How does something get multiple shots off there, and now Jing coming into play as well. That's the spike dropped, and Autumn is nowhere to be seen.
Jing has a gun.
He's got no idea where Autumn's coming from, though. He thinks maybe there's even a flank coming through.
Autumn's just going to have to
क्या Twitch में भी चलता है क्या ये?
either find a headshot or really find the right peaks.
Twitch में भी चल रहा है.
Peek back over the next.
No armor for Jing. He is tucked nice. Carefully until he decides to cross. Again, he's got no idea where Autumn is. Here's the peek. Spotted. 30 seconds for Autumn to try to work with a bold peek from Jing, and he gets it done again for PRX. They are just making no mistake at the moment as they continue to put GE in the ground.
What more is there to say? You think about PRX playing to their peak form, and that's scary.
चल रहा है इसमें भी.
PRX.
अरे भाई इसमें ऐड ही ऐड है.
PRX are just playing it to perfection. The fundamentals are on point.
Just looks as though Pat's brain is going to overdrive, right? He's instantly thinking to wrap around towards the back, get that 180 flick, but there's just no chance. Envy, on the other hand, is just so comfortable. I mean, that's another thing. Both teams cut from the same cloth. Just always playing Valorant with a dream. PRX initially, people were laughing at them for the double duelists. And then they show up in this way. One Malaysian representative in Davai. Envy as the next Filipino star. GE, similar signs, but not the same level of experience, not the same level of performance. for the little team that could to finally take down PRX in the playoffs in towards map 2 where they're finding themselves in a 4-11 scoreline.
जीत गए तो
Try and they try.
तीसरा खेलने की जरूरत है क्या?
They're sitting back
तो
for
है
now. But it's PRX
3-0 हो जाएगा लग रहा है.
space. One ways and 2 players outside of Mount to hold. Another one-way setup.
They will continue to try for yet another map as well if this one ends in the favor of PRX. Remember, it is a best of 5, so GE are not done just yet. It doesn't feel like they've come online at all so far in this lower bracket final. It is 1-for-1 to start off round number 16, and GE are going to try and take some momentum from that. Prowlers forward, allows them out to Mount.
Think carefully though.
Big rotate from PRX, isn't it? 3 players already over on C. That Nightfall kind of connected in onto Envy. Yes, it has. Yuratan on the hunt, looking for it. Envy is a dead man walking. But Jing, again, in for the double, and there's just no answer right now for GE. Crystal's going to have to try to clutch it out. Pops the Annihilation. Got that wall up as well. Devi's been caught. Forsaken, gonna have to get this one done alone. Tags through.
Forsaken set.
Still has to find one eventually, but it will not be this one. Another for PRX.
How? How is this happening? Round after round.
थोड़ा रुक जाता.
Another big entry, big first blood. Patman fires back. You actually gain space into sight. You have the conviction to go through with Nightfall. Just a crumble in the post plant. A showstopper, a big dive. Out with Devi as well. Just down to the 1v1 where the headshot angle is the last thing you don't expect.
Yeah.
12-4 and now economy in shambles. PRX look primed to send this to Ascent.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's going to be an even cleaner map here on Lotus than what we saw on Haven. So even more mentally draining for GE. Forward hold on B. Worked out for something. Again, in the mix early on in the piece. Devi waiting for Harvey. Can't quite get it done. That's Steel Garden in the mix as well. But Forsaken is running amok amongst GE. He will eventually be brought down to heal, but I don't think it's going to matter at all. It is just Batman up against his former teammates, and surely nothing to be done. 13 secured for PRX, and right now they are making it look way too easy against GE.
Just another bloodbath again. The last round. Just confusing.
2 maps win.
Find any lead possible, but time and time again, it gets wrangled and tossed away by PRX.
Yeah, it's time for some real soul searching here as GE 2 maps into this lower bracket final. 1 more remaining if things continue in the fashion that they have been. So GE have to take a break here, have to have a chat with the coaching staff, have to dig deep, have to find a way. Otherwise, this very first playoffs run they have managed to get themselves into will be over.
The best chance would have to be that Ascent. They haven't shown their composition so far, not a single time. Meanwhile, PRX seemingly struggled a little bit against T1 just yesterday. We do see something right back in on with a Yoru though, and he had some lovely plays back there, so you never quite know. This could still be a clean sweep.
Yeah, we've got a lot of PRX fans in the crowd here today. You can see all those signs being held up, and they have been given a bit of a treat, but the global esports fans need something to watch as well. Hopefully, Global can deliver that on map number 3. Looking likely the scoreline, but we'll see whether or not things change on map 3. First though, we'll go to an interview, see how things are feeling down on the stage.
Vâng ạ, thưa các bạn thân mến, đối đầu với cả Ben Sentinel nhưng mà không thể ngăn cản được W Gaming. Vậy điều gì đã thúc đẩy cái điều đó? Điều gì đã bơm thêm năng lượng cho bên phía của PRX liệu rằng là Jing hay không? Hãy cùng nghe chia sẻ của huấn luyện viên Alex. So coach, against 3 Sentinels, we still can't stop the W Gaming. What pushed that? Is it Jing?
Yeah, I mean, having Jing play like 25 kills is obviously going to give you against any comp is going to be good. I think we have seen the comp before. You know, so we kind of know what we need to do around it. So when we saw it today, like we had a good idea of how to play around it.
Với việc mà Jing chơi như thế rồi thì bạn chơi bộ com nào cũng sẽ có thể hoàn toàn xuyên thủng được 3 Sentinel thôi. Chúng tôi đã nhìn thấy bộ com này trước đây và chúng tôi hiểu rằng làm sao để khắc chế nó. Vâng ạ, đó là những chia sẻ của huấn luyện viên Alex. Thank you coach. See you in map 3. Thank you.
What can you do to stop 3 Sentinels? You just paper Rex it. That is the answer. And that is exactly what happened. It is 30-4. An even
वाह भाई
farther scoreline than the first map.
I mean, we heard it from Jovi before this map. He said, in theory, this comp should cook Paper Rex.
In theory.
Paper Rex don't care about your theory. They're so good. They're so sharp. And I feel like GE, you know, with all the good planning in the world, if you can't make it work on the server, then things aren't going to improve. You know, we've seen this composition in the past. We've seen the idea of triple sensing. And I think it's great on paper, but to play it in reality, especially against such a strong team like Paper X, it feels impossible to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, as well as you see how the first half and
ऐसे तो हो
second
गई
half
भाई
started, you get bonus one as well as pistol by Paper X, and then second half you see GE with a much bigger pistol, they immediately get ecoed. It's just one of those games where not only are the double duelists to Paper X, you know, just full force running at you, Jing's on his signature agent, but also you have a bit of a disastrous half start in both of those halves. So even if you have all this prep, even if you have all these great plans on the gun rounds, you don't get the chance to execute them as cleanly as you would have wanted to, and then the game falls apart.
Well, you know what? Jovi hyped up the triple sentinel way too much, so we decided, you know what? Never mind. He doesn't belong here on this desk. We decided to bring up Benkai to replace him. Benkai.
I'm not gonna hype it up. I'm here to clown on it, man.
all right. Let's hear me clown.
GE was not fighting today on that map. They were struggling.
Benkai.
GE struggling.
इसी की बात कर रहा था
It
मैं.
was me and Morgan again on that team.
Yo, that's a flashback. No, but I think you're right. I think
Benkai को तो छोड़ दिया
I
होंगे.
get, you know, I get the idea behind it, and I get.
कॉमेडी पर्सन है ये भी शायद से नेपाल से है ना मेरे ख्याल से.
You have to be the ones that
मुंबई में रह रहा है.
didn't look well prepared. That is the, you know, like you said, that's the flip side of trying to play a lot of these comps and try and make a lot of changes on the fly. If you're not well drilled with it, it's not going to look good on the stage when the pressure's on.
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and you can see GE also starting to crumble under all this pressure. Sure, you had map number 1 where you can just shake it off and okay, get those nerves out of the way. This was map 2. It's starting to get real for them, and this next map coming up could be their final one. We see just how far away the stats are over here, and for PRX, they are still just.
तुझे allowed है stream करना ये? कर सकते हैं, क्या बोलूं मैं? बाद में हटा देंगे. अभी तो देख ही रहा हूँ भाई मैं. मेरे को देखना था ये कि जीतता है कि नहीं जी. PRX से. अगर भाई ये जीत जाएंगे ना जी तो मजे हो जाएंगे भाई. वैसे तो 2 मैच जीत चुके हैं PRX. 2 मैच जीत गए हैं और एक मैच जीत जाएंगे तो शायद से थोड़ा चांस रहेगा आगे जाने का.
Tripping up backside, like it just doesn't seem like it's well coordinated and well put together. But ultimately, you know, it's Paper Rex.
जी बाहर है. बुरा खेल रही है बहुत. हाँ बहुत बुरा खेल रही है भाई. देख रहा हो 13-4. इनके किल स्टैक देखो. जिंग के भाई 25 किल मार रहा है. 14 बैटमैन.
I mean, this is just classic Paper X. This comp is very flexible. They can kind of mid-round their way out of a lot of situations. MVP obviously goes over to Jing. It feels like there's less and less maps in the pool where he's going to be able to play the Raze, but Lotus is always going to be a staple from him. So I'm not surprised, despite the fact that in a couple of these last few series, we haven't seen as big of a performance from him. But as soon as he's back on that comfort role on the comfort map, he goes straight back to putting up the same numbers that you saw at the start of this stage of Pacific.
Yeah, he is just one of the best Razes in the world, and if not the best Raze in the world. And this is exactly why, when it comes to these kind of matches, he's always the one that to watch out for. He always pops off also, and he always delivers on this agent. You had Padman really trying to fight on the side of GE. However, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game just got out of their hands too quickly. You know, you spoke about it yesterday, Ben. Paper X are one of the best momentum teams in the world, right? So, I mean, if you're on the flip side, let's say you're back in GE for a second, Paper X are getting that momentum. How are you stopping it?
I mean, with all these Sentinels that GE had, I would have tried to at least play for time and just try and cut down on those entrances with the Sentinel utility. Yeah. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, the thing I wanted to highlight about this game is, I mean, these 2 rounds are a perfect example of what Paper X do to a team. At the end of the day, this was a 4-on-5 bonus, won by Paper X that got them a ridiculous amount of momentum in the first half, and then the clip to follow up this one is going to be a 2-on-5 that you've seen. I mean, you see vintage 2-on-5s, 2vx clutches from Paper X. It's really what they do best. You put them in a situation where they need to read the game, and they're able to do it. But I also want to, highlight the comp that GE are playing. This is a duelistless comp where you need perfect spacing, because at the end of the day, you actually have a lot of guys on this team that are just a guy with a gun. You know, I've thrown all my sensor util down, but when we get into the mid round, I'm a guy with a gun and I need to be next to my teammate, and if I'm not, I'm going to get picked apart by PRX.
Yeah.
And this is what you saw in this round.
And I think this is something GE in the past have been historically so good at trading each other out. We've praised their fundamentals so many times on the desk, but PRX picked it apart here today.
Yeah, it was just, I wish we could see how this comp really would work. But unfortunately, today's just not the day. There's just too many factors in here. But now, of course, we have Ascent on the horizon. What do you think? Are we expecting anything? Any surprises there? Jovi hyped it up again, but I think I trust you now.
You trust? I mean, for GE, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought out like a funky comp. But I also wouldn't be
बैन का को निकाल के
surprised
अच्छा नहीं
if
किया यार.
brings out Jing on the race for
बैन का सबसे बेस्ट
like
प्लेयर है.
we've done it before in the past.
Okay.
Yeah. It kind of worked, but I would value something Yoru over the race here, at least on Ascent.
Yeah, I mean, I think from T1 yesterday, we heard KDG speak about how they went back to that old school comp, that default comp, because they thought it could be PRX. So I'm curious if that's a kind of angle Frost wants to take, if he wants to work that KO in there. But in my mind, knowing Frost, I think he's prepared to go weirder than the old.
भाई अच्छे प्लेयर को निकाल दो.
They come up with. At the end of the day, I think PRX
बुरे
in
प्लेयर
both
को
of the
डाल
games
दो.
that they played on Ascent thus far probably could have got more out of their defender's side. So especially with the Sage Vice, I want to see that happen. I think Jing is going to be happy about his performance. I remember when they played KRX over at Champs, Jing had a big game on the Sage, but he honestly hasn't been playing that well on it. So I think hopefully he's going to be feeling a little bit more comfort, a little bit more momentum coming off of that Raze game on Lotus and have a bit better of a performance this time around. Because once again, you will see picked by GE and PRX will get to start out on the defense with the Sage Vice.
Oh my gosh, it's 13-6, 13-4. Ascent
भाई
is where
जी
I
इतनी
need
बुरी
GE
क्यों
to
खेल
come
रही है?
alive here. Otherwise, this could be it, and PRX advances to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, their playoff run
थोड़ा
would
अच्छा
come
खेल लो
to a
यार.
screeching halt. Don't get me wrong, they're still in London. Still plenty to be excited about. But this is a team that wants to win Pacific. They want that rematch against Full Sense. But you can only do that if you really start to play to your ceiling right now, because they've not shown it in this series.
Dude, if there's any time to come back, it has to be this map right now.
Yes, exactly.
Because even if they win this map, I'm so scared for GE for the next map after what PRX did on Split.
Yeah.
Yeah, against the last two teams that they fought against on Split, I really don't see how GE is going to come on top of it.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, to be fair, GE in the past have been quite comfortable and good on Split, and even in, I believe, Kickoff, they pushed PRX very close on that map. It was an OT banger, so GE will have to rediscover some of that form, but fair taxes, you've got to win Ascent to even make it there, and it would have to be some kind of ridiculous reverse sweep. Not only would they have to peak when they've looked a little bit shambolic on the stage so far, but also PRX would have to fall asleep a little bit, and they've just been on today, and I don't see it happening.
I do wonder if PRX, you know, what if they get a little bit complacent on this map? What if GE is able to come back from this? Because again, this could be the last map, right? GE, I need to know what you are planning here on Ascent, and let's not forget that Frost here, he's cooked up some really weird comps on Ascent, right? Really, really strange ones. I'm curious to see what he has to say about this current series, so let's throw it to him on stage.
Kính chào các bạn thân mến, rất là có ý tưởng để có thể kéo chậm tốc độ của W Gaming lại, nhưng Global Esports vẫn chưa làm được. Vì liệu rằng khi mà bây giờ lưng đã chạm tường rồi thì GE có match với cả tốc độ của PRX hay không? So coach, you try to slow them down. It's really tough. Now your back's against the wall. Are you gonna match their pace, or we still have to trust?
Okay, so I just watched us 4 rounds in a row, a fight with Triple Sensi. So at this point, I don't know what is going on. Don't ask me for questions, because that was not supposed to happen.
Điều đó không nên xảy ra. Tôi không biết rằng có điều gì sẽ có thể xảy ra được nữa. Bây giờ tôi không nghĩ được gì cả. Tôi không trả lời được gì cả. Hãy cùng chờ đợi map thi đấu thứ 3 mà thôi. Thanks coach.
भाई फन में क्यों ले रहे हो यार? ले लो.
Frost doesn't know what's going on. What are we supposed to think?
I mean, he's saying exactly what we said. How are you losing the A fight?
Are we pressing the panic button now? I think we need to press it. We need to press it right now.
I think the good thing for GE is if they're going to recover, it has to be now, right? And when we saw them beat PRX last, there was a big hunger difference. I felt like they wanted it more. Now is the true time where they have to bring that back. If they can muster up that courage, the cojones that they showed in that series, then they'll be able to turn this around a little bit. But they're looking complacent and they're looking scared. Right now it looks like PRX that wants it more, and that's what worries me for GE.
Yeah, and you just can't come into this match with that kind of mentality, you know, especially against PRX. To them, the job is done already. They've already made it to London.
Yeah.
So right now, they're really just having fun. And whatever they get now is just a bonus to them. So
exactly. And PRX, they're so scary when they have fun.
yeah, and what does GE have to do to try and like beat that mentality? You know, they're just so, I just feel like they're so afraid right now.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely scary when you see PRX having fun, and definitely in the sort of flow state that they usually get into in these very, very important matches. We see that each of these players also, they're just incredibly calm as well. Like, they haven't really peaked yet. And you see the side of GE, they're really struggling.
I mean, exactly. I mean, you saw the interviews this morning. Divine made it to his 14th international with this. It's routine for him at this point.
He literally looked like he rolled out of bed, which I'm sure he did, to come and play this best of 5. Either way, though, Ascent is going to have to be where the narrative changes for GE. It is reverse sweep or go out here in Pacific. Yes, the job's done. They've already upset PRX before. He's been looking like that. He's been looking like that so far.
Borderline demonic.
I mean, that's him with the Yoru ult right now. He's gonna be mask on in this game. I'm really looking at Jing and Forsaken though. Forsaken was phenomenal in this first map of the series on Haven on the Omen, and I think he's key to holding that A main control on defense. The Omen is a very key agent in that regard. But Jing coming off the back of that Lotus game as well, after he's had a couple of rough games on the Sage, an agent that he's played a lot in the past, not only on this map, but also on Sunset. Those are going to be the two players that I'm looking at to be heavy hitters for PRX. For GE, I mean, we have no idea what they're going to come out with here. I mean, we haven't seen them play Ascent yet at all. It's something that they've kind of kept in their back pocket. But even if they have some tricks up their sleeve, if the players don't step up in the server, none of the theory, none of these comp changes is going to matter.
That's my worry, because it doesn't seem like the players have that same fire that they enter the stage with, right? You saw the look on Javi's face, that sparkle when he was walking out, and now into map number 3, he's looking puzzled. He's scratching his head. He has his hand, you know, over his head, and he's thinking, what am I gonna do?
I mean, it's so hard not to be demoralized in this game because you've cooked up these great plans that I'm sure have been, you know, absolutely frying for you in scrims, and then you bring it out in the server and you get 13-6, 13-4. It's hard to go, well, it doesn't matter what we do, and it's easy to get in your own head and feel like you're just not able to go toe-to-toe with them. But you are good enough if they bring it back. It's a Sage mirror matchup.
That's what we wanted to see.
Yes, and I love that they're bringing out the KO. We saw how well T1 were able to do with this to neutralize what PRX were bringing here.
Sage mirror matchup, it is. It looks like we are getting what we asked for in this match. But the question is, can Global Esports make this comeback, or does this series already belong to PRX?
I really want to see how GE are going to get into the bomb sites, man. They don't have any agents to dive in.
Yeah, and you're going into Vice Sage.
It's going to have to be the Phoenix Burst. Like, they're going to be stuck in the chokes. It's going to have to be Curveball or Underarm KO Flash, something like that to try to break it.
Well, GE, you got to give us something here. This can't be the way it ends after such a miraculous run here in Stage 1. And for PRX, you got to keep going. Show us what you've got as we toss it on over to your casters, Elfish and Quack.
Yeah, it's all about this for GE. They have come in with the fantasy run into the playoffs. First time ever. And we thought, wow, this team might be able to put something together. They beat PRX in round 1. They make it all the way through this event, and then all of a sudden it starts to come crashing down. Surely the dream cannot turn into a nightmare.
Surely not, but then again, you never know. Look at how many signs there are out there. PRX 3-0. By the way, if they do actually make it to the grand final, it would be the first time they face off against full sets so far this year. It hasn't happened before.
Wow, that's a big story. I think you could definitely set a few up there. Primi, maybe the best player. PRX, maybe the best team. What kind of a matchup that could be if we get there tomorrow. GE, of course, still trying to play spoiler in this best of 5, but they are down at 0-2, needing a reverse sweep. How often do you see that happen?
Let's not forget, we don't see that happen too often, but PRX were one of the first few teams to do it against KRX back then in 2023. But for now, let's all remember as well, Frost being the OG creator of the zombie comp, the tempo comp where you have multiple lives. Autumn Phoenix, Yurutan, Sage. For now, though, a silent approach through middle. The smoke somewhat telling. PRX starting to think about holding out towards A short, but it's a bit late.
So that made their way into tree, and actually some pretty good ground here. Autumn is already taking a lot of space. Crystal pushing his way forward, a 1-for-1. Something trades down for Devi.
Pretty nice. You fan the hammer, you get a kill at the very least, and that's pretty decent start. A lot of information and time being held off as well, thanks to the wall, so you know where one is approaching. The rest possibly as well. Now that you have Pat back on the controller, just to try and hold.
Ooh, tag in onto Jing. Something already dropping. This is coming together for GE. They haven't started with a pistol round until now. So that's a break in tradition for this lower bracket final.
Something that they definitely are welcome to taking. I mean, that's, again, another theory about how this composition could work. We're seeing it in practice, which is something that we haven't seen so far today. You have the wall. That slows things down. You get some information off of it. The door kind of works as a wall as well, and then you know where PRX are approaching from. So big ups to Crystal for being able to take that opening duel. We need so much more of that for the rest of this series.
100% GE,
Two Marshals, one Ghost now.
I mean, you can still see that that means a lot to them. They're still locked in for this game. They're still investing everything they can. That belief is not gone. And that's what's going to be the most important for GE. Even if we don't believe, they have to believe.
Right here. I just love that so much for this team. You lose a Guardian now, though, but on the other side, just try to shove it into the site, get the spike down. You know PRX are hot on the approach.
We've spotted multiple players outside of B, so they're not going to take too long to clear out A. Still got Batman and Autumn pushing for this flank, and, well, slim pickings for PRX in this round. Really nice anti-eco for GE.
It almost didn't matter that Forsaken had a gun. Last player soon to be found with Yudotan in position. Okay, there we go. Yeah, had us nervous for a second there, didn't we?
Yeah.
But that's,
I mean,
again,
I've just seen so many things turn on a dime like that.
Yeah, so far today.
I feel like you can't afford to make a mistake against PRX. But this one not punished.
At the very least. So, again, I mean, just thinking about GE as a whole team, right? So far, the entire org's history throughout the inception of Pacific, you know, no offense to Big Time Morgan or even Benkai out on the desk, but they've always struggled. This is the best form that we've seen so far. You want to believe in the dream. For them to be able to make it to the grand final, players who have been plucked from Tier 2 haven't had their time to shine. This might be it, and they will shove it straight through with a dive, sort of, on the Phoenix into sight.
That's nice. Again, we talked about that on the desk. How are they going to get out onto these sites? Well, it's going to have to be the pop-in. The runner back in this case on Autumn, and it's worked out quite nicely. GE are navigating this round nicely so far. Decent contingent of weaponry, despite the fact that Forsaken's got a kill back in there. There's really not a lot for PRX to get excited about. Global Esports looking pretty good so far on Ascent, so maybe it's not over yet.
Yeah, they're in control of the pacing. Something trying to look for a safe backing out towards the A site where he should be the safest. Still, though, never to quite know. G could begin to hunt. Crystal's recon could come back soon enough. Apart from that, however, it's just pace again. I mean, you start the first two rounds exactly how you need to, and then you have the ultimate, which, you know, we haven't really brought up as a point. Autumn is on to 8 kills right now, only a single death to his name, and that's just exactly what this team needs. You go in with a full force and fury of Global Esports straight into the B side, and PRX just has no answer. You can continue to bring up rounds like this, then we'll have a real conversation.
Yeah, I mean, this is really looking quite nice for GE. Autumn uses the runner back in this round, and he's already halfway there to his next one as well. It won't be long before we see that again.
Hopefully more.
Bit of a save out for PRX here as well. Half buy coming through. Opportunity for GE to continue the pain here on Ascent.
Possibly. But then again, PRX have somewhat of a similar composition as well. The Sage, always a big factor.
They're going to contest through the one-way, through the slow. Still going to try and take that space. Flash in, helped Forsaken out. He can't get out. It's just the 2 for 2, which, look, if you're PRX, I don't think you're too mad about.
Yeah, that was just a Sheriff. And now you've got something in a strong position.
Very strong position, in fact, and he's got a rifle that he can make some good work happen from. Yudotan not able to clear that corner, and this is where maybe it starts to fall apart a little bit for GE. The decoy.
You need this duel.
Getting the better. Crystal was spotted. Doors broken or something. What's that? Harvey just punishes him for it.
Just an uncharacteristic dive, but now spike planted and a crossfire set up across the sites.
Okay, okay.
Indeed, that drone
2v1, 2v2.
information that is required. Nobody out from tree just yet, so Crystal feeling pretty confident. Start to push his way out onto the line. Stops a bit of damage. Shock dart out, trying to slow things down. That's awkward. 1v1 now for Harvey. And you're up against Double I, who is running out of time, so he's going to have to go back and try and sit that defuse for a second. Flash around the corner. Prompts another tap here. I cannot win this for sure. All over at this point. Yeah, easy for Harvey.
Nice.
4-0 GE. Starting to come alive on map 3.
I'm not gonna lie though, I definitely held my breath for a second. Javi thankfully being able to play off of time, but Crystal on the 1v1s, he hasn't been so hot today. You kind of want that Crystal clutch back to come back in this series.
Okay, trade ho gaya.
At least the rounds going this way so far, being able to find the recovery off of 2 initial big losses, that's the GE. That's the composure that they need to bring back to the game. I mean, just finding the right calls, finding the right plays. PRX starting to feel a bit of nerves as well.
First time in this series that we've seen the initial timeout in a map go the way of PRX. Also the first time that GE have picked up the opening pistol. First time that GE have been able to front run. So we're sort of in uncharted territory now.
भाई PRX का कोच जो है बहुत जल्दी आ जाता है यार.
Which is what we've been asking for.
Tension में.
4-0 is a hot start.
Yeah. Feels like the first time that we're actually really asking any questions of PRX so far.
Which is then some work for Coach Alex to do. I mean, you have to think about how G has been approaching round after round. A lot of the orbs on this map are somewhat positioned for the...
अरे तुम्हें समझ में नहीं आ रहा, ऐसा कर, वैसे नहीं कर.
Work around that, and that's what they try to do a little bit towards A main, which is very clear for oftentimes Ovens to do, with a bit of support from Jing as the Sage this time around. But if GE just having the ability to cycle through the ultimates, having the same kind of approach off of flashes, the slows, they can just shove you back. We're not forgetting the fact that Javi onto this KO can be quite a threat as well, not just in terms of information, but just that. Just stifling abilities.
My ult is ready.
And now you might have entry.
Yeah. Bonafide A hit here for GE. Just going to try and test the defense of PRX, which is not looking too good. Forsaken is stuck, and he's got nowhere to go. So he'll be chased down by Patman, and again, not a bad entry for GE, but PRX with that third, or rather that second kill. Bring it back to a winnable scenario here. Autumn's going to try to pick the pace up. Is he aware? Yes, he is Envy. And in the blink of an eye, that round is over and done with. GE up to 5-0.
Bang on. And that's just going to continue rolling. I wonder what PRX's economy is going to start to look like then. I mean, they tried to shift towards a more, I guess, default-ish setup, but clearly that's not going to work out if GE intends to play pace, intends to continue to be flexible. 7 rounds where they just Phoenix burst into sight, exactly what Cody was talking about on the decks, and you're seeing so clearly right now. The flash in, the willingness to continue to push past in towards
0-5, बहुत बढ़िया.
Next round coming up.
Runner back available. Last time they had it, GE, they did hit this B site and in that direction again.
Attacking में जीत रहे बहुत बड़ी बात है भाई.
Off slow. You're never quite sure the timeout. It could have
वरना ऐसे defending map है.
Going in for more defensive pushes. We're not seeing that so far right now, which means GE has their time to kind of clear things through carefully with the flashes, peek around the corners.
Watch your eyes.
Soon enough, they'll see the wall.
Enemy
mark. They have to be careful. Traps set up.
Spots 1, where of course the Phoenix is here as well off of the sound cue. PRX pretty determined to hold on to this B site, maintaining 3.
Trigger the wall.
Kind of allows them to take a little bit more space, but it's going to be actually getting into the site that's going to be the problem here for GE. Now, really taking their time about it, aren't they? Concerned, of course, about a retake or a rotate. Now, that hit coming through. PRX 3 on the site, looking to defend, and they are doing a pretty good job of it, but eventually they will be run down. Forsaken cannot take that TP in the end.
2v2.
Still a 2v2 though, and something's right around the corner.
Oh yeah, something's in a pretty interesting spot here. He might not actually deny the spike retrieval. In fact, Patman just going to really secure it. 13 seconds. Covered well by Harvey.
Nice one, G.
That's going to be a 6th on the trot for Global Esports. Forsaken will, again, opt to try to play spoiler, but Esports, they feel like a completely different team here on Ascent, and PRX do not have an answer for it. Dark cover out, TP into it as well, just to try to change the game up a little bit here for Forsaken, but he has got no idea where these GE players are. Harvey found
nice.
Batman delivers. And GE are starting to deliver as well, 6-0. This
बहुत
is what we
बहुत अच्छा
wanted.
लगाया था दिमाग.
Let's not forget that this round began without much weaponry for PRX. I shudder to think what could actually eventuate if they did have guns sitting all the way towards the back of B side, but thankfully for GE, they did not. A few kills stolen and robbed away, but then the composure to stabilize off of the smokes and the spike getting planted. If Pat had somewhat overheated with a wild shrouded step instead of the big from the shadows TP, that could have gone south. Thankfully though, we'll continue on. Slightly more control now, but PRX starting out with aggression, something onto the off, and he intends to pick out. That's a big info line being held, as well as for Forsaken to hold, but GE, they trudge down middle instead.
Yeah, what a brilliant call from them. There's just so much space to be had here in mid, and they're going to take it for free. Autumn info gathered as to the position of the op of something. Devi's been able to push his way forward, but he's deleted as well. Like I said, GE, they're looking like a completely different team right now. Forsaken and Envy, though, pulling it back. Not back quite far enough, though, is that A side's still going to be taken, and GE happy with it. 3-on-3 post plan.
Yeah, there's just so much space. I mean, information for sure, but they always had the option to cancel, and right now, with Autumn in such a strong position as well, he could always be that sleeper agent activated towards the end of the round.
Oh, he's found out. Has to give away his position, and so Envy will dig him out. Dimensional Drift in play as well for something, looking for a little bit of information there out onto the side. The res is through as well. So GE are trying to hold on now to a 2-on-4, but Crystal with a nice late flank. Surely he's going to be able to have much of an impact in the end, though, is that coverage, well, it's not looking too good. Devi was not looking. Dart forward, tries to get the info. Defuse being stuck. There's nothing to be done for Crystal. Finally, PRX have their first round of the map.
It'll just keep their spirits in the game as well. Not too bad, though. Pretty smart from Global. Again, they cancel off the initial approach, always trying to sell that fake, but it's information for PRX ultimately, which leads to them slowing down the pace, back in with numbers for the strongest retake possible. I mean, taking the duel, multiple pronged approach against Autumn really cements their initiative into the site. Had they lost players towards Autumn, that could have been a different result, but thankfully, there you have it. At the very least, though, GE still feeling confident in their approach now. Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting that PRX would pull a timeout off of a round win.
Should be something that Alex is not liking.
It's not even talking. GE maybe getting a bit more value out of this one, it would seem.
You never know. But I have to imagine it's something to do with how the PRX players have been operating on the map so far. I mean, yes, a lot of confidence in everything for sure, but as we all know, complacency can kill. And sometimes when these guys, that's why they favor the lower bracket run. If they start to feel a little bit too comfortable, they've been there, they've done that, they've been to 14th time this time around, internationals. They start to get a little bit too used to it. So you want to see how this setup can work. The operator line brought up before, it gave them a lot of information. So maybe running the same thing again, or do you expect G to find some kind of counter soon enough? That could be the answer. So instantly spotting out on towards something, and he has to reposition. Meanwhile, G continue to scout out towards the rest of the map. They want to rob away some of that Vi's utility, possibly.
There's a lot happening in this round. GE all over the map.
And just very careful. Maybe you see if PRX starts to go out on an approach, you start to take down the numbers. Just careful though, but you never quite expect it.
Forsaken gets the better of Autumn. That's going to pick the pace up for GE over towards B. In fact, they're not quite going to commit to it. Envy in there as well for a kill on the Crystal. It's kind of fallen apart. GE. Maybe they've tried to cook a little bit too hard in this round.
It's just unsettling.
And PRX have the answers for it. Dart. Why actually scan Harvey there?
Oh, he can't get the orb. He wants to. Either he dies and gets the ult anyway, or...
Yeah, I think it's a moot point, really, isn't it?
Yeah, he's going to get surrounded soon enough. I mean, again, it's just unsettling unnerving. PRX slow down the pace right back against you, and they try to wrangle back control, impose their will against you, and that's where GE starts to struggle. They weren't really sure, you know, where the pin was about to drop. It could have
बढ़िया
been
भाई,
A. Instead, it was
जीत तो जानी चाहिए, चलो कोई नहीं.
Jin gets off of the wall, but at the same time, it's the sudden peek out from Forsaken. For now, we'll listen.